Hey everyone, welcome back to more Reddit stories about entitled people, crazy people, and anything else we find interesting. And as usual, we got some more Reddit posts to check out today, so be sure to share your thoughts about today's stories down in the comments and let's get into it. I'm an 18-year-old female. My boyfriend and his friends, 18/19 male, played a viciously cruel prank on an older couple who had lost their cat. Obviously, I'm breaking up with him, but what else can I do to make this right? I have been with my boyfriend for about a year. We are both honors students who are graduating in about a month. He's a good guy, and we were going to try to make it work even though we are going to different out-of-state schools. However, he has a group of friends, and when he's with them, he does very stupid things. He was out with them last night, and he called me and told me he was at Purple Heart Park if I wanted to come see them. I live about a block away in Rita, so I told my parents and they were fine with me going. When I got there, they were like rolling on the ground, they were laughing so hard. I asked them what was so funny and they wouldn't say. Then one pointed to an older couple who was walking around with a flashlight calling the obvious name of a pet. I could not figure out what was so funny about that, but as the couple came closer to us, they said we needed to leave. When we got in my boyfriend's car, they absolutely lost it with laughter. I asked them what happened, and maybe 30 minutes prior, one of them had spotted a missing cat poster and called the number and lied and told the owner that they had spotted the cat in Purple Heart Park. I instantly knew the posters since one was on our mailbox and they had been there for maybe 6 weeks. In Tucson, we know when a cat has gone that long, a coyote had gotten it. I wanted to throw up. This was so cruel to do to those poor people to give them hope like that. I demanded to be taken home that second and he did. I didn't say a word to any of them and I hate that I even know this happened. I'm going to break up with him, but what can or should I do to make this up to the poor couple who was missing the cat? I'm devastated with guilt that I know something about it, but don't know what I should do. I can't ask my parents because I'm afraid my dad will actually beat the crap out of them and risk losing his job. He's such an animal lover. And that brings us to the update. So basically, breaking up with my boyfriend was an easy decision and I did it over text. He said that after a year he deserved better than a text breakup. I said after what I saw him do on Saturday night, he really didn't. He tried to say that the prank was not his idea and I really needed to cut him some slack. I said that maybe it wasn't his idea, but I saw him laughing just as hard as his friends, and that was enough for me. What was harder is what I should do with the people. I had 2 choices as I saw it. Either not call and let them have false hope the cat was still alive, or call and let them know they had been pranked. Basically, after thinking about it all day, I decided that if it were my dogs in question, I'd want all the info I could get. I was so nervous about calling them, but the lady answered, and I think I said I had some information about their lost cat. She basically stopped me and said that it was a miracle, but their cat had been turned into Pima County Animal Control 2 days prior, and they had finally gotten a return on the chip, and they called them that very morning, and they had just gotten the cat home. I was so relieved because I didn't have to tell them some awful news about how my boyfriend was a piece of crap. I was also happy for her because she seemed so happy. I told her I was very happy her cat was home and said goodbye. So that's really good news, and I'm happy to be rid of my idiot boyfriend. The elite got a taste of their own medicine. Back in 2018, I married my now ex-husband. He came from money and grew up in the upper class. He never lacked anything. I'm the complete opposite. Grew up extremely poor and learned very early on that you have to work hard and have your own back. We met at his uncle's restaurant where I was a server. He came in one day to eat. I was his server. He asked for my number and we hit it off. Or so I thought. After we got married, his true colors were quick to follow. A complete narcissist. Actually diagnosed. The story takes place when I meet his sister and her boyfriend for the first time. We pick them up from the airport and as he introduces us, she eagerly says, "OMG, she's totally Jordan's." Her boyfriend agrees, and my husband chuckles. I'm like, "What is Jordan's?" And my husband tells me that it means I have great style. I thank her for the compliment and think nothing of it. Throughout their visit, they start calling me Jordan's. I accept it as a cute nickname. Like, great, they like me. That was until one night we decided to all get drunk. We popped open some wine, and as we drank more and more, they started commenting on how crappy and cheap my wine was. I kinda shook it off as they decided to play stupid drinking games. Truth or Dare was one of them. My husband's sister dared him to tell me what Jordan's was. They are all laughing like chickens and totally drunk. He says, "Jordan's is the name we give homeless people who have swag. I'm completely dumbfounded as they all burst out into more laughter. I was not as drunk as everyone else, and just sat there trying not to cry. Fast forward to the next day, I asked my hungover husband what the F was their problem. He had completely removed that fact that he had told me. He started saying, "It's just a joke, don't take it seriously." I didn't let it go and kept pressing the matter. He finally told me, "I may have told them about your upbringing and how you are not like us, just to prepare them." To prepare them? For me? I could not believe what I was hearing. I spent the next few days to myself making excuses, staying busy. My husband had bought an expensive bottle of tequila that we were supposed to drink the night before they left. The day before the last, they went on a hike, which I excused myself from. Time for a little payback, mother effers. Let's test your elite palates. I videotape myself swapping out the expensive bottle of tequila for Sauza Gold. In the video, I sit back and enjoy shots of tequila talking about my upbringing, the love and closeness I share with my family, and how fortunate I was to have grown up not becoming a disgusting POS snob like the family I married into. I mean, I went off. I got drunk and went to bed by the time they got back, so I didn't have to engage, and they didn't know I was drunk off $200 worth of tequila. The last night, I watched these idiots sip the tequila like wine and comment on how distinguished and delicate it was. They mentioned you could taste the quality. I'm sitting there enjoying every word that came out of their mouths. I then get up, connect my phone to the TV, and say, "I put something together for you guys to say thank you for your visit." I hit play and watch as they started to understand what just happened and what they were drinking. Satisfied, I start gathering shot glasses off the table while the echo of total silence hit the walls. They said nothing to me. I went to bed only to have my husband wake me up in outrage, telling me his sister was crying because I humiliated them. I just say, "Yeah, sucks, doesn't it?" They left the next day and never spoke to me again. Even when we visited their parents, they all live in Europe, she refused to come see us. Safe to say I'm happily divorced. Neighbors' kids forced their way into my yard by pushing through a non-entry point of my fence. Mother did not seem to understand my concerns for her kids' safety and my property rights. Neighbors have been angry with us ever since a property line survey, we hired it, revealed that not only were the neighbors under the impression their yard is smaller than they originally thought, but they have a rock garden that encroaches into our property. Ever since this lot survey was done in August 2025, they have not taken any concerns about their children's behavior seriously. We built a fence this month, October 2025. It's just a wire panel fence with T-posts, but it's permitted and approved by the city. We needed something built fast because the neighbors kept trying to mow the lawn and weed whack past what they now know is the true property line, and we needed to stop that so they couldn't try to claim adverse possession. I think their home's previous owner built the encroaching rock garden, but still, if it were me in their situation, I would start removing it because that's the type of person I am. Anyway, since we built the fence, their kids have significantly less lawn space to play. Their swing set now sits only about 5 feet from my fence, which is set back 2 feet from the property line, and the parents have not moved the playset to give their kids more space. And I'm not sure they can because they erected a massive above-ground swimming pool 2 years ago that consumes most of their tiny backyard. There is also a giant beautiful maple that sits in the middle of the remaining open grass space that they have, and then the rock garden borders the edge of a stormwater retaining pond at the very back of our lots. These lots are only 0.37 acres each. So here's the problem. The boys stand by the swings and kick their soccer balls purposely to hit a gate I have on that side of the fence. Now I have kids myself, indoor kids, but I don't have an issue with kids playing outside. I grew up in the 90s and was outside all the time. What I know of their boys is that they like to push boundaries and then run to mommy, who defends them. Well, what I knew would happen, happened. They kicked a ball at the fence and it went over. No big deal, I would have just thrown it over the next time I took my dog outside. However, the boys wanted it back. My backyard security camera caught the following incident. The ball goes over the fence. The younger boy attempts to open my gate, which is locked. Then the older boy hoists his little brother onto his back to try and help him climb over the wire, but they abandon that plan. They then walk into my garden on the side of my house, and the little boy pushes his body through the wire where it meets the house to retrieve the ball, and then he returns the way he came. The wire fence was bent significantly from him doing this. I have photos and video of everything. When I saw this footage, I sent a text to their mom with screen grabs of the camera footage to prove the incident to her. Mom's name. Our security cam just caught something alarming. The boys were kicking their soccer balls at our fence gate and one ball scaled the fence and landed in our yard. The guys first attempted to open our gate, which is locked, to retrieve the ball, but when that didn't work, older boy name attempted to lift his brother over the top. They then sent younger boy name to forcefully push his body through the wire by the house, where he was able to enter our yard to retrieve the ball. He then pushed himself back the way he came. This is a huge safety liability for us. If their toys land over the fence, I have no problem tossing them back over whenever I am free to do so. I might not be able to immediately, but within reasonable time. The boys forcefully entering is not acceptable and could cause us big problems if they get hurt. Please let them know they cannot do this again. Her reply was kind of what I expected. She did not apologize and made some weird excuse that I can't wrap my head around. Obviously, we've never had anyone with a fence or care if we were in their yard, and especially have it locked. I told the boys and the girls and our kid's grandma who was over at the time and thought it was okay that if anything goes into your yard, do not go get it. This happened yesterday. I put a no trespassing sign on my fence gate facing their side this morning. I bought a no trespassing sign ahead of time, knowing the boys would try to enter once they discovered my gate would be locked. The mom and dad do not like me now because of the lot survey, the fence, and that I have a camera. I do not dislike her kids or kids at all, I just wish she cared about if she were in my position. Which, knowing her for 5 years, she would be a tiger about all of this. Anyway guys, that's going to be all for today. Thank you for watching everyone, I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Reddit content like this. Anyway, I'm out of here, so stay tuned for more and I'll see you next time.